Yo, yo, yo. It's really good, guys. It's your boy Hav in the house. As you can see, we got the big dog Curtino this week. You already know the homie Victorious. Come on, what's really good, guys? The Rip Pod.
What's good? What's good? A homie Kurt in the house.
Let's go, Kurt.
Welcome.
What's going on, guys?
welcome
Thanks
back.
for having me back. Yes, very
Welcome
good to be back.
Oh, man, what episode was that? Do we have you on, Curtino? I don't know offhand. Do you know?
That's back in the 30s,
30.
dude. That's like, I'm calling
Episode 30?
31, 32, maybe something like that.
I think you
I'm
would
going to tell you. 3-0,
30?
exactly. Wow, good
30.
call. Yep, good
Nice.
call. Awesome. Yo, so hey, Rib Pod in the house. Curtino, special guest this week. Coming to bring you all the baseball scoop, little trade deadline action. I want to talk about, he's going to give us his little Harri Invitational wrap up. But yeah, your boy Hav in the house. It's July 28th, guys. Wow, it's almost going to be August. Man, my son turns
Yeah.
4.
July just flew. It's just like
Flew by,
Real
man.
quick.
they tell
quick.
you,
hot.
they're like, oh yeah, it's just gonna fly. It's like, nah, let me chill. Let me enjoy July. And it's like, nah, it's over.
Nah, and then it's like August is here, and the school starts at the end of August, so it's like, man, summer right there. So I'm hot. It's down in the basement again. Curtino, look. Oh, we're all down in the basement.
Yeah.
Let's go. It's the
Nice and
it's the
cool
basement
down here,
pod
though.
tonight.
BET style, baby, BET style.
That's a basement pod for sure. So we're gonna give you guys, the regular sports update, and then Curtino, gonna give us all the baseball lowdown, like we said. But yeah, we'll give you the usual soccer stuff, revs, wrestling. Jump into, we gave you like the little combo platter with football and basketball last week. Got PGA, the season winding down. Couple OT stories, I'm sure. We'll probably throw in a story or two in the first half with Curtino. We were just talking before we went hot about like the Brook that we just went to, or some rib stuff. But yeah, it's here. It's on and popping. Episode 49. Oh, you guys got any number 49 numbers? I got no 49 numbers.
49. Let's see.
No athletes in number 49. I don't try to Google it either. I try to keep it,
Yeah, same.
Try to keep
Off
it on
the
it.
top
Try to
of
keep
my
it on
head-
it.
I go back to channels,
You know what?
always channels, yo. ESPN.
Off the top of my head, I think I got
Oh,
one.
wow.
I think, and I hope I get it right because it's a shout out to the local guy with the Atlanta Braves, a young starting pitcher by the name of Ian Anderson.
Wow.
I think he might be
Curtino
number
going deep.
49. I
And the
Yeah,
Rolodex.
that's just a sneak peek of what you guys are about to get. So.
I hope
Wow,
I'm going
that's
to check
deep in
that
the
after
Rolodex.
the show, man. The first thing I got to check.
Fact check that one.
I hit that Sean
yo,
Bradley
awesome.
one time. I hit that Sean Bradley with that 44. I was like, yo, Sean Bradley is, Dallas Mavericks. So, yeah, we get that.
Hey, 49 was definitely Sports Center. That was definitely ESPN.
100.
Yep, for sure. Good call there. So, episode 49, man. It's on and cracking. It's about 10 o'clock at night. But, yeah, we appreciate all the love, support, as always. Man, we're out there. Comment, Facebook, YouTube. I'm throwing it, the stream, Spotify. I'm just going, we're out there.
Yeah, out there. Share that, comment, like, all of that.
All that good stuff really helps. The views have been coming along. The comments even. I saw, we get love on the comments. So, we just want to mention, that's it. That's it for a little intro. Let's get into a couple things that we want to talk about for sure. Phil Broom, again, just want to throw our love and support out there for Phil. Just seeing the message has been flying. Victorious. We threw the GoFundMe out there. We threw, they had a little eulogy out there. So that, we tried to do our part. So that's still going on. Make sure you're supporting that if you can. Again, with Chris Picos, same thing. Just want to show our love and support, our condolences. Curtino, you have, or even Victorious, come back to you on Phil. We were talking how he was like, GNAC, how he kind of got, they carried him off the field.
That's
we didn't really, we didn't really know him.
No, we didn't.
And
We
Curtino,
didn't. But you talk
I don't know
about
if you know
legends,
Phil,
man.
but
just people, you know what I'm saying? Just people who leave their mark. I thought we touched a small bit on it, but this man really left his mark. Like, again, GNAC champion, conference winner, captain, leader. Man, what? It's just, wild, man, wild.
yeah, the way I've been seeing messages flying across. It's like, I don't know. I don't like you said, took down the GNAC title. Like, he scored a game winner on a crazy like goal in the box, like a hustle goal. They carried him off the field, that type of thing. So I wasn't, I definitely wasn't aware of that. But yeah, seemed like, all positive stuff. They've, again, saw some messages, some people linked up, some people we know, Adam Bailey type, Kenny Rogers, some of those type of cats.
Even shout out to the former coach too. The former coach, it's killing me right now.
Scott Thomas.
Scott Thomas. I know he had a few.
Oh wow,
few really, strong.
Yep, saw Danny Allen. Yep,
strong
good.
words.
Good, love to see it. So, all that love and support still going out there. But yeah, man, Phil Brum, respect. Curtino, I don't know, Chris Picos. We mentioned him as well on last episode. I went to school with them. I played with them. Yeah, and when I think of Chris Picos too, I think of like Connor Rooney. They're almost like a tag team duo. But bless us with any Chris Picos intel, any stories, Curtino.
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, rest in peace to Phil. That's one of those names that came just a little bit before me, but, with Riv being such a small community and my brother, actually, my older brother going there for a little bit, he lived with some of the soccer guys, his first run through there. So guys like Danny Allen and he was with them, John Whitney. He was living with those guys. So Phil was a name that I had heard about.
Riv legend, John Whitney.
Yeah.
Oh,
John Whitney, man.
Play with him too. I play with John too.
Yeah. So you got me thrown off talking about Whitney, man. That's a whole nother world with Whitney. But yeah.
So Picos.
Chris Picos.
Or even Phil. Yeah.
Yeah. So rest in peace to Phil. Obviously, was a good dude from what everyone says. Like you said, the comments that have been coming out, I've been seeing a lot of posts, sending love his way towards his family and everything. So, but Chris Picos, I did have a fun introduction with Picos. I'm pretty sure we came into Riv the same year, both as freshmen. So we were down in Guildhall, that freshman dorm, and one night I was just kind of walking through the halls back to my room, and I had like a bottle of like cranberry juice or something in my hand. And I come around the corner, not expecting anything, and there's this monster of a man with now a big smile on his face, and he looks at me and he's like, "Yo, my guy, we were meant to hang out," and I'm like, "What are you talking about? Who are you? Like, what just happened here?" And he pulls out like this little fifth of liquor, and he's like, "I've been looking for something to mix this with. Let's make some Cape Codders, man. You've got the cranberry juice. I've got the vodka. Let's go." And
he brought that in.
I'm not going to ruin his good time. What am I going to rain on his parade? So I said, man.
That's like peanut butter and jelly right there.
Let's chop it up. So we just, half a bottle here, half a bottle there. We mixed it up, and we hung out that night. We just chilled in the hallway. We're just like chopping it up. Who are you? What are you doing here? You're here playing soccer. I'm here playing volleyball. Where are you from? This, that. So I wish we hung out more after that. Things happen, but we weren't unfriendly with each other after that. It's just like, we never really had another moment where it was just me and him hanging out. But one of those names that I always kept up with, because he just, like I said, one time hanging out, and the dude left a great positive impact. So, from the outpouring of love and support to him.
When that news broke, man.
Yep, for sure.
That news broke of him.
Heartbreaking.
I was like, wow. It was just, again, rest in peace to those guys, man. It's,
I saw, Picos was 38. I saw after he left Riv, he went to the military where he was like, I think he was like a decorated soldier.
Exactly. Yeah.
Saw tours of Iraq, Afghanistan, if I'm not mistaken, like the Middle East, and then also came back and played at UMass and was like a record-setting goalie at UMass, which is like, so, and you could tell like, he had that in him. You could tell he had that in him. So much respect to both those guys for sure. I mean, both seem. I'm glad
they
left their
you
mark.
Touched on his military background, fam, because that's
100%.
Something that it deserves recognition.
And I'll tell you what too, and it seems like when we talk about Chris Picos or whomever, it's like I'll tell you what, Chris, like, I think he needed like that rigidity of the military. Like,
Yes.
it served him well, you know what I'm saying? I think it served him well. Like, gave him like a nice little, bounce, a little spring to UMass, and like, showing him like what an unbelievable light, he was able to like showcase his talents there. So, for sure, the military stuff, it makes sense. But what else we can, the other thing I wanted to jump into with you, Coutinho, is like your little Harri Invitational perspective, coming from New York, coming from Schenectady up there.
Yeah.
I think you were in CT the night before.
Yep.
And then you were like the first person when we got into Exeter Country Club down there in Rhode Island. You were the first person that we saw. So give us your little your little 2 cents on the weekend, your take. Give us your sense. I'll give you the mic, Coutinho.
No, great. Yeah, no, that was awesome. You guys came rolling in. We saw the plates. Harry and I, you guys probably saw both of us, big smiles in our face. We're like, here we go. Let's go. Like, it was real.
You guys
know what
ran
I mean?
up on us,
It's
sure.
like, as a kid, like, you knew Christmas was coming, but when you came down those stairs and that tree was there, it was like, it's go time. Let's do this,
That's what we bring. That's what we bring,
Yep.
Kurt. That's what we bring.
Yep. That's all you needed to do. And then you stuck around and took some swings, man. That's what's up. But yeah, no, it was a beautiful day, beautiful weather, beautiful golf course. Just fantastic to see all you guys again. We get there, Harry and I. So to recap what you said, I drove down the night before. My mother-in-law and my father-in-law live in southern Connecticut, so it's a quick shot over to Rhode Island. So we stayed in Connecticut for the night, and then I shot over to Rhody on Saturday morning. I think I was the first one texting at like 7:38 in the morning. Wake up, let's go, fellas. I had agreed to be Harry's DD for the day, driving Mr. Harry around. So that was my first mission, was going and picking him up.
Wow.
He had me set for
what a good egg guy.
No, I mean, come on, our man just kicked cancer's ass. What am I gonna say no to? Like, that's what's up. Like, I'll drive you wherever you want, dude.
Like this.
Yeah. So he had me on schedule.
Good.
He's like, all right, so you get to my house by 10 a.m. Pick me up. We'll be there by 10:45. Tee time's at 11:30. All this and that, but we were on point. We were there. He had me going. And
perfect.
So yeah, so we get there.
Perfect.
We see the Andriozzi brothers in their neon pink golf shirts out on the range taking some practice swings.
How could you miss them?
Yeah, Harry and I loved it. We're like, that's our squad right there. Those are our leaders. So we love to see that.
Yeah.
Then just as everybody's
That's
showing
right.
up and coming out of the woodwork, Stedman, Spano, it was just great to see everybody, man. And like you guys said, we were able to start saying what's up out on the putting green while other people were teeing off, getting the outings going. There was another couple outings there that day. I don't know. I don't think you guys touched on it on the last pod, but we learned a thing or two about how to dress it when you're having a golf outing with the boys. There was this outing that had like three squads with coordinated outfits.
Well, what I was gonna say, yes, I've got so many pictures. I was actually just going through them today before, maybe like on my lunch break or something. But so many pictures, like so many videos, like all of us teeing off on one. Coutinho sent me some pictures, got some stuff from the bar after, a few things from the boat. I saw a video today. I might post one today, but we call Costa. We did a cheers to Costa, and then Spano was like, "Have fun with the floors" or something like that at the end, or something like that. So. Got some stuff for sure. I might just do a big dump, like a big photo, a little content dump on the hashtag Harri Invitational.
100%.
Yeah, I tried to
think
snag some.
There's no timeline on that. We can do that whenever.
We definitely Coutinho. We did learn a thing or two. There was some snazzy unis from matching shirts and whatnot from other teams.
But I mean, you guys covered it pretty well last time. It was a beautiful day had by all. I mean, getting to hang out with the guys, play some golf, whether you're the top guy on your team or the bottom guy, it didn't matter. It was a great time. For my personal little shout outs, I mean, number one, shout out Harry. I don't think we would have, and it's going to be kind of a twisted shout out, but I don't think we planned to get together for that reason without him having, beat cancer and gone through his treatments and having his situation where we all started that group text and all that to even get going on it. So, shout out him for setting up the tea time as well. And for kicking cancer's ass. That's what's up. That's what it is. Shout out to the Andriozzi brothers, because they led us to that. They were the leaders of that 6 under that we strolled to. They were our A-level partners, but they weren't those guys that are like, oh, you got to do this, you got to do that. They could tell me and Harry what to do every time we picked a club out of the bag and probably start there. Be like, nah, you're gonna want to try this, But Justin helped me out. I was having some trouble with the drive. Spano can attest to that. He picked up one of my drives from the previous hole bunker. Don't ask how that got there. And he threw it in the water for me. But so I had some trouble with the drive late in the day. Justin kind of helped me out with that. So shout out to those boys. And double time for Justin specifically for getting us all out on the boat when we were kind of in between bars at the late night hangout. It was a beautiful spot. Beautiful boat. I don't got to go into that, but just to have that opportunity, just having that option of just like, it was just so chill, just sitting there.
We left an unbelievable, the dive bar. We left that place to go to that bar. You had to pay $20 cover. We had to pay a $20 cover. What happened with that place?
I'm just glad that we all figured it out.
What happened with that $20 cover?
Yeah, I'm just glad we had the discussion in the line before anybody started paying $20 to go inside and get yelled at. But
what do you mean that blue place was the $20 cover?
They were charging the cover charge. It was so loud.
Oh,
yeah.
I wasn't asking any questions.
My bad. My bad. I don't know if it might not have been 20. It might not have been 20.
They had a cover charge. Whatever it was.
Either way, I would have been A-okay going back to the dive bar or going just chilling chilling on the boat,
which was Justin's boat.
Yeah.
I was gonna say you could have charged a fee.
Exactly.
Exactly. Okay, here's $20. Thanks.
So shout out to him for hosting us on the boat for sure.
Great.
And my last shout out I got to give out because it was part of the group text was to Mama Steads. She hooked us all up for those who wanted it with some boxwood dressing, the infamous salad dressing. I couldn't eat salad without it anymore. Like it'll never be right. That stuff is so good. So shout out Mama Steads for the boxwood dressing. And to wrap it up, I'm just looking forward to the next one, man. That's the best part. Like I know we're going to do this again. And I know we can do it bigger, better. And, based on that, I think we could do it right. Plenty of causes out there that when you get enough people together and throw some funds underneath it, we can start donating to a cause. Change it up every year, host it at a different spot every year. I know I'm trying to scope out places around me where there's a golf course and a spot for people to chill, just like we had in Rhodey. So it was all love and it was a great day, beautiful day. Vic, look, I see you taking practice swings, man. Vic's got the old driver, man. He's ready. He's ready to go.
Great stuff, Coutinho. Great stuff. You definitely touched on a couple things. I don't think we highlighted enough for sure. Like Justin, thank you for sure for hosting us, and Jared too. Like the whole crew, like everybody's solid, man. Everybody's solid. So this is like I've been out to golf with people. I've been even like out for bevies with people. And it's like so many like stiff people out there, bro. Like the whole crew was solid. Golfing especially. Sometimes you go and some people, it's like they make it not fun. It's like, nah, it's like, honestly had a blast.
Yes.
Still losing, had a blast. So that was all love for sure. The Andriozzis, big shout out. Harry, man, he kicked this the whole thing off.
Exactly.
For better, for worse.
Exactly. Well put.
Even like we highlighted some of the stuff on, how he was talking about the Pats when they were like, he was like, can we go 4-0 last year? Or, talking about, they ended up, with the best record in the AFC at one point. And like, that was something that he mentioned and it kind of drove the show for a little bit.
Harry Damas.
So, shout out to Harry. And then, for the, Steady, somehow, for sure, fantastic dressing. I know Victoria's had a bottle. I had a bottle. You had a bottle. It's like Oprah. Everybody had a bottle. I gave one to my coworker. Had a bottle, unbelievable. So
Blessed coworker right there.
Yeah, and then I ended up with the Steady soft cooler, and I ended up with Steady sunglasses somehow, and just mailed those back to the island. So shout out to Steady and Curtino. Your last thing, man. 100%. Round 2's coming. Harri Invitational Part 2. Definitely want to be an annual thing. I know you're scouting locations. I know I'm scouting locations over here. You know, anywhere that we could do, it's easy. So there's definitely 3 right, you know, 1, 2, 3 right away. I just found out there's a
driving range and then, in my town, so I'm going to just start crushing balls.
Let's go. So, yo, I like where your head is at with that, Curtino. Yo, all good stuff. Anything else you guys want to hit on? Any Riv stuff? Any Harri Invitational stuff? Any other stuff? Or we can hop into some baseball, Curtino. I know you're going to give us like a scoop on the Yanks, on the Sox, mainly. You know, kind of dive a little deeper into them, and then kind of touch on all the divisions. You know, the other 3 in the AL, all 4 in the NL, and then trade deadline is right here, right around the corner. I know, like Juan Soto, big one. I saw him. You know, a little scuttlebutt with that, but
boy wants the bag. He wants that money.
Let's jump right into that.
Yep, he wants that money.
Let's jump right into it.
One last, I'll do one last Riv shout out. I got to give Jeff Costa a proper shout out for that for the coaching job. Our boy Costa.
Hey, come on. That's an easy shout out. That's easy.
Sure, but I had to get that one. Costa. That's my last little sneak in. So we'll move on to baseball now.
We missed them. We missed them on the boat. The Harri Invitational. He's doing the floors,
but they look good. He sent us a picture. They look good.
They did look good, and you know he's out there in Aruba. I don't think you know he got his little vacay in. So big shout out to Coach Costa. Hopefully get up there to Riv to help the women's volleyball team coming up. You know that season be coming up before we know it here in the fall. But let's jump into some MLB
for sure.
You know, we can jump into what? Red Sox. We can jump into Yankees. That's, you know, I'm looking for the Red Sox take. I know, you know, we just been losing. Talking about, I saw our old guy Benintendi got traded, but talking about Xander, I don't know, that extension, Rafi Devers, like, you know, I saw, little sponsorship deal going on. I heard that on I don't even want to say I heard that on the radio. I heard that. But yeah, drop some knowledge on this, Coutinho. Where do you want to start?
So we'll start with the easy one. We'll get it right out of the way. The successful story, what you just mentioned. The Red Sox, you know, they're one of the first teams to get an agreement going on jersey ads. Just like every other pro sport in America, now baseball starting next year, Major League Baseball is going to have ads on jerseys. The Boston Red Sox have an agreement with Mass Mutual Bank on a 10-year, $170 million sponsorship to put their logo on the Red Sox uniform. So you'll be seeing that Mass Mutual logo. So that's
nice. Mass Mutual. I think it's actually like, I think they're like an investment bank, like an investment firm, Mass Mutual. But yeah, you know, whatever. It's only a matter of time before that happens, right? So everywhere else across the world, they put logos. Right, everywhere.
NBA,
and you've seen, you guys especially have seen it. Soccer.
Soccer. I mean, it's like.
Yeah.
Come on, they've been doing it since like forever.
Soccer's been having that.
So. Then again,
for sure.
And again, baseball. Baseball's trying to catch up.
I've been thinking like the old. I think of like the old Real Madrid with Siemens, or like, you know, Jarlsberg with Liverpool. You know, so come on. What else we got, Coutinho? For sure, I like that little positivity right off the bat.
Yeah, well,
Coutinho.
I gotta start with a high note because it's not too pretty from here. But we'll try to make this a compliment sandwich. We'll try to keep it positive at the end.
You gotta keep us posted. You gotta keep us posted, Kurt. To cut you off, but like the playoffs and just like what's up with that? I didn't realize. This whole new.
So current state of Sox Nation, the Red Sox. You're at the bottom of the division, the AL East, last place. So that's the reality.
Wow, Baltimore is better than us
right now. Just today, yes, today. But you're in last place of the AL East terrible. With a 500 record. If you're 500 in any other division in the AL, you're in a pretty good spot. So there's still hope. That's what I like. And I'm a Yankees fan. Anyone that knows me knows it. I'm a Yankees fan, and I'm telling Sox Nation right now, it's not over. Okay? You're down. You're not out.
I like that.
Right? So here's what it's going to take. First things first, you got to win more games, especially inside the division. And I know it sounds, pretty straightforward, but especially inside the division. The Sox have not won a series against a division opponent yet this season. That's not going to help you get to the playoffs.
Yeah, that's
I like the
They
stats
came out of the
continue.
All-Star break. They got walloped by the Toronto Blue Jays. I got some numbers here. I don't even know. I got to share these numbers because you just don't hear these numbers in baseball. In a 3-game series, Toronto Blue Jays swept the Red Sox. They outscored the Sox 40-10. They outhit them 51-26, and the Sox struck out 36 times in 3 games. That's rough. So they got to turn it around.
Yeah, gross.
Yeah. Lack of offensive production, big time, and I'll touch on that in a minute too. But again, there's still hope because thanks to this new playoff structure that MLB's got, it's top 6 teams. So division winners are the top 3, and then the 4, 5, and 6 are just the best records after that. So if you pull it up, I'll give you the stat right now. I mean, right now the Sox are probably 2.5, 3.5, something like that out of that 6th wild card spot, but they're still in striking distance. They could realistically take the 5th or 6th seed. I mean, 6th seed is probably more realistic. And just to give you a little more hope, like you took that swing, you got the ball close to the flag, now you want that tap-in putt. If you pull into that 6th seed in the AL, you're playing the 3 seed in the first round. That's probably going to be the winner of the AL Central, and that's probably a very winnable series, whoever that is. So not the worst thing. Like, you're still alive, all right? So there's that. So you got to win more, especially inside the division. And the second half is all AL East. It's all in division. MLB always sets up the second half so that you're playing in division opponents and those races can stay hot. Next thing the Sox need to do is they need to get healthy and stay healthy. The injury bug has bitten the Sox hard.
See, I couldn't even tell you any of that stuff, Coutinho. I got Victorious. I don't know if you've been following the Sox.
The only reason why I'm able to even follow the Sox is because my father just gives me the lowdown, and it's just like I get my Red Sox before from my father.
I heard like the business side because that that almost like I'm like geared towards that aspect, but like so I heard the the logo agreement, but like as far as like the new playoff structure. Well, I don't know. That's news to me.
I like the sound of it.
Appreciate that,
big time, because it actually I like it because it shows. I do like that because it's like kind of gives every team somewhat of a fair shake. Just kind of win out, do what you kind of got to do. I feel like in the past, how many times you heard all these teams getting screwed out because of whatever, right? Because of the wild card. So I don't know. I kind of like that. Kind of a new thing.
Oh, well, another thing I thought there were like 4 divisions.
Three
in each
show.
League. Yeah. So I'm like, I don't even know.
I got
all over the map. But so Coutinho, the top 3 are automatically in, and then the best 3 records after that.
The top 3 spots for each league are going to be the 3 division winners. Yep.
And that's it. Just win out. Just win.
So to figure out who those guys get seats, so it's best record out of those 3 get. So like right now, the Yankees are the one.
The next 3 could theoretically.
They could all come from I think one division. I don't know the rule on that.
Wow.
But I know that it's definitely possible that they could have 2. You could definitely have 2 come out in that wild card round. So it's realistic that the Toronto Blue Jays, right now, they're the number 4 seed. You've got the Seattle Mariners as the 5 seed. And then in the 6th seed, it's very realistic that you could end up having another AL East team there. The Tampa Bay Rays, the Red Sox. That's the way it's looking right now. So it's also the AL Central has some teams that are right there as well. You've got, I'll get into that. Let me finish up on the Sox, and we'll touch on those other guys. So the Sox, they need to get healthy. They need to stay healthy. The injury bug hit them hard this season. The big ace, Chris Sale, he was out all year, worked his way back, came back, from what I understand, just ahead of doctors' timelines. Guy comes back in the first start, gets hit with a line drive and fractures his finger. Just can't.
Bro, that's some bad,
that
horrible
is bad.
Karma, bro. Like, I don't even know if it's karma is the right word, but like,
yeah.
I did.
Well, it is, because he takes
that.
his frustration out on stuff at couches and TV mounts and stuff like that.
Kurt, my dad was telling me, like,
dramatic.
Out in Worcester, right? He like went all nuts. It was just one of those where it's like, watch yourself, Chris.
Yep. So he's looking at a mid-September return at best. And at that point, if the playoffs aren't a realistic shot, then they might just shut him down for the rest of the year. Sticking with the pitching, Nasty Nate Eovaldi, he just came back from his own injury. He is not looking good so far, getting hit pretty hard, so they need him to round up into form. He's actually on the last year of the contract that he signed with the team, so he could be a possible trade chip if anyone's looking for a little bit of a pep in their rotation, a live arm. Next, JD Martinez, the big bat, the bopper. He just came back. He took a few games off with back injury. He's also another possible trade chip if the Sox decide to turn into sellers before the trade deadline. He's doing his usual thing with the bat. He's hitting around 300. His power numbers are down, but he's still making solid contact, so teams might still be interested. The big offseason signing, Trevor Story, got hit by a pitch on hand, and he's coming back hopefully in about a week, 2 weeks, something like that. But that's, a big piece missing from their lineup. An even bigger piece missing from their lineup right now is Rafael Devers. Hurt his hamstring. He's also looking, hopefully, to come off the IL as soon as he's eligible, looking like maybe another week or two before that's possible. But he was their first half MVP for the Sox. The guy was instant offense. He was crushing it at the plate.
They tried to give him, Kurt. What's up with that deal?
Everyone's trying to sneak in a lowball deal. You think with that new ad money, they might be able to open the bag a little more, pay the man. If you're going to pay, who are you going to pay? If you're not going to pay him, you're not going to pay Bogarts. Who are you going to pay on this team? I would personally say give them the money, but so you got those guys. Another few names, guys like Kike Hernandez, Christian Arroyo. You want to talk about needing some pitching help? Michael Wacha, Rich Hill, Matt Barnes, Matt Strom, all these guys seeing the IL on this year, it's not going to help you out, and that's where the Sox are right now. So they've got a chance.
When you said that they have Rich Hill, Kurt, when you said that they had Rich Hill, I knew this season was going to be a tough one. Like, Rich Hill been pitching since like the late 90s.
I am not a Rich Hill fan. I don't know what it is, but I am not a Rich Hill fan.
This man's been pitching since
I don't understand how he's
like Al Leiter and stuff.
Yeah. So that's pretty much the Sox. Yeah.
Well, let's do this, Coutinho. Yeah, I was going to say, let's jump into the Yankees. The Sox, it seems, just a quick summary, like you're thinking they got still a chance, an outside shot, even with all the injuries, even with, couple guys being down. I feel like, with Sale being, that whole thing. JD Martinez power numbers down. Somehow still got like an outside. Who's like performing well?
On the Sox end, you've got Rafael Devers was definitely their first half MVP. The guy was just mashing. He was, not as many home runs as you would hope, but extra base hits like crazy, high average. He had it all. Xander Bogaerts is doing his job. He's not hitting for power, but he's hitting plenty of contact. He's on base, just nobody driving him in, so he's not getting the usual runs scored and things like that.
Yep.
As far as pitching, I couldn't tell you who their first half pitching MVP was. Maybe Nick Pivetta. He did all right, but if your first half pitching MVP is Nick Pivetta, I guess playoffs might be sounding bleak. So yeah, it's tough. They've got a shot, but it's going to be tough because the AL East is stacked this year. You've got the AL East, which I'll touch on this later.
Yo, I was going to say, speaking of, let's jump to the Yankees. Give us a lowdown, man. It looks like they're having
Yankees,
a year.
Yeah, they're having a year, and I'm hoping it keeps going that way. Right now, they're on top of the AL East. They've got one of the best records in the MLB. The Dodgers are right up there with them. The Astros aren't too far behind, but they're crushing it. A few reasons why. Number one, you got to give it to who's probably looking like the American League MVP right now, who's Aaron Judge. He's having an MVP caliber season. He took a nice bet on himself right before the season started. The Yankees offered him a 7-year deal worth about $30.5 million per year. And he said, no, I think I can do more. Could you imagine that, yo? Turning down that
honestly,
kind of money,
I can't.
thinking,
honestly,
I can make more. I can't either. That's why I'm asking you.
That's wild to me. That's wild to me.
Love it.
Yep.
I love it.
So now I think they're going to have to try to, the man's going to get
Yep.
paid at the end of the year if he keeps this up, especially if he wins that MVP award and he leads the Yankees into the postseason.
Good.
So he's a big reason why.
I hope he stuffs it right down
Yeah,
the throat.
I mean, there's a lot of teams that would like those numbers and like those services. He's a little bit on the older side. I mean, he's not older, but in baseball terms, when you're coming up on your free agency, that's why they're offering him a deal around 7 years, where, a lot of these younger outfielders, you hear guys that are getting offers in like 10, 12, 15-year deals, stuff like that. So he's going to want a few more years. I think he would love to get 10 years if he could find it somewhere. Not sure if he'd be willing to take a pay cut for that option to have more years, but it is what it is. We'll see how it plays out at the end of the season. It'll be interesting to see. So it's not just Judge doing it.
I'm looking at your notes, Curtino, that you sent, and looks like the Yankees are just dominating, Kurt. Like stealing bases, defense, pitching,
they're leading. It's not just Judge. That's what I was about to say. It's not Judge.
It's not just
Judge doing it. It's a little bit of everybody. Yankees right now are leading Major League Baseball in multiple offensive categories. You've got them leading the league in home runs, RBIs, runs scored, walks, slugging percentage, and OPS. That's getting it done. I mean, the bats are getting the job done, and that's even with guys like Joey Gallo, who are terrible. I mean, Joey Gallo just got replaced by Andrew Benintendi, the big trade acquisition. Hopefully, there's a few more for the Yankees. They need they need another arm, in my opinion. But yeah, that Yankee offense, what they're doing differently this year, they're stealing bases. When they get on base, they're taking that extra base. Right now, they're fourth in the league in stolen bases, and they've already got as many steals this season at the break as they did in the entire season previously. So it's a whole different mindset, small ball.
Is he still in bases for you guys, Brett Gardner?
No, I don't think he's playing this year. I don't think he ever got a deal.
I got his card the other day. I got his base card the other day on a series thing.
Yeah, and I don't think it's just one guy. I think it's being shared around the team. You got everybody trying, like even guys like Judge are taking one here and there. Anthony Rizzo having a great year. But another reason why the Yankees are having a great year, their defense is so much improved. Right now, they're leading the league in defensive runs saved. Another important stat. Big offseason moves that led to that. They added Isaiah Kiner-Falefa at short. That was very nice. He's actually having a down year by everyone's standards, but he's still doing all right. Them retaining Anthony Rizzo at first was huge. That's a huge defensive upgrade over Luke Voit. The fact that they traded away Gary Sanchez behind the plate has upgraded everything about that catcher position. The catchers that they've used, Jose Trevino was an all-star. The Matt Carpenter addition was a huge signing. Getting him for basically the league minimum, and he's lighting it up since they signed him. I think it was just back in like May, the end of May or something like that. And he's lighting it up.
I've seen
some. And then my last part was moving Gleyber Torres off of shortstop over to second base, giving him a couple days off. You got guys like Marwin Gonzalez and DJ LeMahieu that can play multiple positions and give guys days off. They're all hitting the ball. So the offense and those guys with the gloves, they're killing it. That's why the Yankees are up top. Another reason why, their pitching was unbelievable in the first half. Garrett Cole doing his thing, doing ace things, top guys doing top guy things. But after Garrett Cole, you had a lot of guys doing things that are starting to kind of show holes. Luis Severino, the number 2, he's on the IL, not sure when he'll be back. After that, Nestor Cortez, the funky lefty, he's reaching a new innings limit. He's never thrown this many innings in his career, so who knows what it looks like after this. He needs to keep it rolling. Jameson Taillon and Jordan Montgomery, they had great first halves. They're starting to get hit around a little bit already with the All-Star break coming out of it, so there could be some regression from those two. It could get a little dicey with that Yankee rotation, but a big reason why they were up on top in the first half was because those starters were solid. And then their bullpen. The usual names that the Yankee fans became accustomed to hearing: Chad Green, Zach Britton, Aroldis Chapman. Aroldis Chapman now is like a middle innings guy. He's not even closing games right now. Now you're getting names like Michael King, who suffered a horrible injury, broke his elbow throwing a pitch, one of those things you never want to see in the middle of a game. He was having a great season as a setup guy for the Yankees. And then a guy named Clay Holmes came in. He's been closing. Half the people don't know that Clay Holmes is the Yankees closer. He took Aroldis Chapman's job. Guy's lighting it up. So he's holding it down in the closer role. So the Yankees pitching has been fantastic. And then, the trade for Benintendi, that's going to help shore up Joey Gallo's giant black hole of a spot in the lineup, and should only help. I think the Yankees need to maybe add one more pitcher.
Nice.
I would love to see them add another pitcher, frontline starter at the trade deadline. One of the names I really like is Luis Castillo from Cincinnati. I think he would fit right in, slot in right behind Cole, a solid number 2, very solid number 2. He's a number 1, but he's a solid number 2. And, looking for the playoffs. You got to have 2 arms to win 2 games out of those 3-game series. You got to be able to do it. So that's the Yankees right now. They're on the top of the AL East. They're on the top of the AL, pretty much on the top of the MLB at the moment. Starting to cool off a little bit. But maybe some moves from the front office, some guys get some pep, and we finish out the second half strong and keep that. It's looking like the Yankees should take the AL East. As we transition into the playoff talk here, the Yankees should take the AL East. It's pretty much a done deal there. They're like 10, 11 games up on Toronto. So
can they win the big one?
I think they need another arm. I think we need another starting pitcher, somebody to go, that 1-2 punch where if you face teams
been a while.
We need somebody. I do like the Benintendi ad. I think his contact numbers are great.
Well,
but he can't throw a pitch, so.
Yo, Curtino, let's do this. I want to get your thoughts if you think the Yankees can take it. But before we do that, I'm seeing. I feel like the Dodgers and the Stros, right, are like their big competition.
So
Is that
for
right
right now, as far as snapshot of baseball, the current MLB standings, you've got the Yankees on top of the AL East. The AL West, the Astros are on top there, and the Dodgers are on top in the NL West, and it's not even close in either of those divisions. Way ahead on those races. It's like half the league is interesting right now, and half the league isn't, and that tends to happen, So
like
the Astros,
like
the Dodgers, I think a lot. Here's the thing: a week or two ago, I would have felt a lot more confident in whatever answer I gave you. But the closer we get to the trade deadline, with big names still sitting out there that could make such a big impact on any playoff race, I don't want to, this is the last time I want to double down on anything. I'm just going to say, let me see the deadline first.
And the Dodgers,
and what
they're not
blows
shy.
my mind about the Dodgers is
they'll step right up and go grab someone or block
it's
someone.
It's not just
like,
what the Dodgers can do with their wallets. Like, it's not just about how they can write contracts and pay these guys ridiculous amounts of money and just sign free agents left and right. But it's that they're constantly stocking their farm system somehow. Like, they always, if any team is going to get a deal done, the Dodgers always have the prospects to get it done. They always have the pieces. It's crazy that they're able to maintain that.
So we're gonna say
Yankees,
those are
Dodgers, Astros. I would
three
definitely
favorites,
agree
I
with that.
guess.
Yankees, Dodgers, Astros, and really, I would call it Yankees, Dodgers. And then just it depends on who does what at the deadline. The Dodgers are in on some of the top free agents or some of the top trade pieces. Sorry, if they get any of those guys, oh my goodness, just it's over.
Has Houston been behaving? Has there been no weird wacky behavior down there?
As far as we know.
Any shake?
Right,
any
no barrels,
shake?
right?
Any
no garbage
down there?
can stuff.
No barrel slamming?
No. They right now the Astros' problem is they have too much starting pitching. That's their problem. They have too many guys that can throw the ball, so they're looking to swing a move, maybe turn their starting pitching into an offensive helper at the deadline here. So.
Man, unbelievable baseball until Coutinho. Do you watch
I bounce
every
around.
night you watch baseball?
I really check out a lot of the highlights. Like I'm big onto like MLB channel. That channel, just getting the highlights, the rundown, stuff like that. Baseball.
Man, I used to love Baseball Tonight
back in the day. Definitely, like right before going out. I
used to love Baseball Tonight.
Over
We
the
talking
summer,
about Sports Center, ESPN,
over
Baseball
the summer,
Tonight,
it was like
right there.
pre-gaming right before we were going to go out for the night, whatever bar we were going to. We're like doing pre-gaming at the crib and whatever, and you hear that dun, 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 the Baseball Tonight update in the background. And I was the one guy because I'm a big fantasy baseball guy. Yep. So I was always. That's really what keeps me on baseball is fantasy baseball. It helps me keep my eyes not just on the Yankees but on everyone.
You hit me up. You hit me up at the beginning of baseball. Yo, we need. We could use a guy.
We needed one more, man.
Season was like in
lockout.
Season was like in lockout. I'm like, yo, I don't.
Oh, that was that.
No, man. I'm not your guy. I was like,
I'm
yo,
not your
let me
guy.
see what
It's
I'm
a labor
working
of
with.
love.
You're not that. It's like
Throw
you're
me
not
the
that guy.
lineup.
Yeah, so,
I think I knew like two dudes.
So I'll wrap up real quick for you guys. I'll wrap up on the rest of the MLB picture here. So the AL East, you got the Red Sox. You got them down at the bottom right now. You got the Yankees right up at the top. So in between that, Toronto, they were my preseason pick to actually win the division. They are currently the top wild card team, so we're close, but they're about 10 games behind the Yankees. So they're currently the 3 seed. Tampa Bay currently the 6 seed. And like we were saying, the AL East could actually have all 5 teams with winning records, and that would be the first time that's happened since the 2005 NL East and the 1991 AL West. And what's wild with that AL West, they had 7 teams in that division. That's when they just had an East and West, no Central. So 7 teams with winning records.
Ooh.
That's wild. But yeah, that could happen this year. Speaking of the Central, moving over to the AL Central, right now it's a 3-team race. It's a 3-team race between some slow dogs. The Minnesota Twins, the Cleveland Guardians, and the Chicago White Sox. They're all separated by a few games. But like we were saying, Boston's got a similar record to all 3 of them. So there's probably only one team coming out of the Central, and it's going to be that division winner. So from there, you got the AL West. We just hit on it. The Houston Astros, they're ahead by about 10 games on the second-place Mariners and about 20-plus games on the rest of the division. Those Seattle Mariners are currently in the 5 seed for the wild card, so they're still in that hunt. Moving over to the National League, New York Mets and 2021 World Series champs Atlanta Braves, they're fighting it out for the top spot over in the NL East. Whoever doesn't win the division, they have a great chance at being the top wild card team. The Philadelphia Phillies are in 3rd. Shout out my boy Taj. Got to give a little Phillies insight here. They have a chance at a wild card spot, just like the Red Sox. Right now, they're a half game out of a wild card spot, so it's possible. So the Phillies aren't dead. Over in the NL Central, the Milwaukee Brewers, the St. Louis Cardinals, another close race, just like the Mets and Braves. They're only separated by a few games, and whoever doesn't win that one, same to the East, they should definitely be looking at a wild card spot. So, those two top teams looking all right for the postseason. In the NL West, it's a done deal. The LA Dodgers are way out in front. In second place, you got the San Diego Padres. They're currently in the wild card. They're taking one of those three bottom spots. But the San Francisco Giants, as always, they're alive. They're not out of it. The Giants always seem to be a postseason contender, and they're still in the hunt. So that's the playoff picture right now. 3 races that are over, a couple races that are close, some more interesting than others, but enough to keep the second half interesting, and especially the trade deadline. The trade deadline, like I said, is gonna be huge on some of these races, with some of the names out there and how they could swing some of these races. It's gonna be fun the next few days to see what happens with this trade deadline coming up.
Unbelievable, Curtino. So thorough, Curtino. I know, just to interject real quick, when we had you on episode 30, fam, Curtino, was like, the feedback was unbelievable. The baseball heads, we need that, So now we got the video. We've been just on the up and up.
Appreciate it.
I'm sure the feedback. All this stuff is like, this is how
you already know it.
This is how I stay up to date. This is how I know when I got to hit up Curtino when I'm like, what's going on? What's really good? Give me the inside
Appreciate
MLB
it.
scoop, So that we just touched all across the league, Curtino. Trade deadline coming up too. Did that already pass?
5 days. So we're
how long we
as
got
of
there?
Date of recording, we're recording on the 28th. So yeah, it's going to be on August 2nd this year. You got that coming up. There's enough big names to make it interesting. Some years, there's not much out there for those teams that are shopping. With the new playoff structure, adding that 6th playoff team, that was one of the reasons why they wanted more action at the deadline. They wanted more teams to think about getting into the market as buyers and sellers and figuring out if they're in. Yeah, so it's good for the marketability of the game. Obviously the big name. You mentioned it before, Hav. The big fish right now is Juan Soto. This kid, he's a generational talent with the Washington Nationals. Lefty bat. The kid can just flat out hit. And he just rejected, we're talking about Judge rejecting big money. The money that this kid rejected, the bet he's making on himself, he rejected a 15-year, $440 million contract. Set. And he said no.
Yeah, but who the hell wants to be locked down for
almost half a billion?
Who wants to play baseball for 15 years for $440 million?
With that guaranteed money?
I mean, I feel you. I'm just saying we talk about business. I'm just talking maybe for him, obviously, I think that goes without saying. I'm just saying, who the hell's offering 15-year contracts?
Yeah.
That's like a live contract.
Right.
Crazy.
So they're trying. Well, he's got some arbitration years, some team control years. They're trying to buy out with it, so it all factors in. But either way, him and his agent think that he can make more. So they said no, and once they said no, the team said, "All right, then we're going to listen to trade offers." As far as what they want, it's apparently a very high asking price, a very high ticket. They want multiple major league ready pieces. They want multiple top prospects. It's going to be tough for any team that gets them. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, very similar. Yeah, they want a haul, and basically any team that's looking at it has to say, "Are we still going to be alive after this?"
You think?
I think Juan Soto, either if he doesn't stick with the Nationals through the rest of this season, if he does get traded at this deadline, I think he goes to the St. Louis Cardinals.
Well, I was going to ask you real quick. Well, let's jump back on it. What about Judge? Do you think?
I think yes. I think Brian Cashman is known for doing this deal where he'll tell any Yankee free agent, he'll say, "Hey, go out, see what offers you can get. Just make sure that you talk to us before you make any decisions." And that's basically his way of saying, okay, if you're saying that they're giving you 10 years for $400 million, I'll give you 10 years for $415. You know, what I mean, or 410. Like he'll just.
This man said,
Right.
shop us last.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He gave us
Exactly.
Last, so he gave you the shop us last line. Nice. All right. So Juan Soto maybe to the Cardinals, but you think Aaron Judge stays? Hopefully. I was gonna say, hopefully for him, they don't win the title and give him something to come back for and all that. Like if he wins, because I'm assuming, right? If he wins a championship, he's like,
I mean,
just go get your bread
if
somewhere.
you're the MVP that helps them win a championship,
So I don't know, Coutinho.
That's only going to help your bottom line. That's going to help you get paid, no doubt about it. So yeah, Soto, I think he ends up with St. Louis. If not St. Louis,
Nice.
I hate to say it, but I could see the LA Dodgers making a move for him. Simply because they could offer him the money right away too. They could sign him to an extension that he sees fit. If he wants to, he might choose to keep playing and keep upping his stock. It's crazy what some of these guys can get paid these days. So who knows? But the Padres could make a strike. The Yankees could make a strike. I heard the Mets could go after him. I think the Mets might have a little more difficult time being in the division. But yeah, Juan Soto, he's going to be the big name to watch. And they don't have to move him. He's not a free agent at the end of the year, so he'll be around under team control again. So they could wait until the off season and see if anybody wants to step the price up a little bit. But sometimes contenders get crazy with the deadline coming up, and the Cardinals are definitely one of those teams that have the prospect and roster power to get it done. They've got the names.
Yo, you want to just run down this?
Yeah, just a
quick
couple
list
names.
that
I'll
you
toss
have
a couple
of,
names
of
out there
quick
for the
possible
baseball
trade
heads.
candidates?
Some of the names that you might hear moving around, moving to teams that could help out at the playoffs. Another guy from the Washington Nationals, Josh Bell, big first baseman, slugger bat, could help out any lineup that needs those power numbers. I touched on the name before, Luis Castillo from the Cincinnati Reds. Great pitcher, one of the best changeups in professional baseball right now. He should be on the move. Another starting pitcher, once he's fully healthy, Frankie Montas from the Oakland A's. He's a very good starting pitcher, flies under the radar because the Oakland A's don't really, do much year to year. So he should help out somebody out if he moves. The A's got a solid catcher in Sean Murphy, who's a free agent at the season's end. He should be able to help somebody out, anybody in the catcher market. The top name on the catcher market is going to be Wilson Contreras from Chicago. The Cubs, he's solid catcher, not great but solid, and can play every day. Great bat. Another Chicago Cubs name, Ian Happ, cut down on the strikeouts a lot this year. That was his one problem, but he can mash, so he could help out. And a guy from the Pittsburgh Pirates, they always seem to be selling at the deadline, the Pittsburgh Pirates. They got an outfielder, Brian Reynolds, former All-Star. He could help somebody out. For those that miss out on Juan Soto, you're going to see them going after those next tier guys like Ian Happ, Brian Reynolds, maybe even Joey Gallo from the Yankees, things like that. So, but yeah, it should be fun enough names to keep the deadline interesting, and it'll definitely shake up some playoff races. That'll definitely be interesting to see.
Gave it
Wow,
to us.
Coutinho. Wow. So take. Woo. How's that feel, Coutinho?
It's like.
Just give it that it felt like baseball tonight.
Of baseball, yeah.
Come on now. Unbelievable. Yeah, no, that felt like I said. You were on episode 30. Took us what? We're almost at episode 50. So we'll say 20 weeks there. We'll say about 5 months, and it's like, needed that. How long is the
So you've
how
got
long we have left in the
let's
baseball
see,
season?
we're rolling up on the trade deadline. Then playoffs usually start right around early October. So yeah, so you're coming up. I mean, the
6
All-Star
weeks?
break isn't exactly halfway.
Yeah.
Plenty of divisional matchups. That's the big thing
weeks?
to watch is divisional matchups. See how those playoff races shake out, and just keep an eye on your Sox. They might be buyers, they might be sellers at the deadline. They've got some options. They could do a little of both.
So,
Victorious, what do you? Yeah, I was gonna say, hit Coutinho with
No, I was
any,
just gonna say.
because he's gonna stay with us while we do some wrestling. Not us, not us in like a Texas three-way or anything, but like, hit him with any baseball.
I guess
Hit him with any baseball questions.
Wrap up,
What
at
we
least on
got
my
real
end,
quick.
this would be the. So we got 3 more months of baseball. You got August, September, and then all of through October too, right? Don't the games?
August,
Yes.
September.
But I'm saying though, like just
Yeah,
in
like,
general,
but
this
that's
is still a solid
playoff
3
start.
months. So you're gonna have to give us the final scoop.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, we'll keep everybody updated.
Right.
Uh-oh, the verdict on the year. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't have anything else, Coutinho. Yo, that's an awesome little update. I mean, just from where the season started, or kind of the outlook, and how things have played out. I'm trying to think of the Red Sox and like all the injuries we had. Chris Sale had that drama over there. Then he comes back and gets tagged. JD Martinez, I feel like he's always like on the trade block / like, what are we doing with this guy? Not going to pay Devers, not going to pay Xander. Like, come on. And then I see the Yankees on the other side, like, just like full steam ahead, just like keeping them, it's like keeping it going down. Like, yo, everybody's on the right track. Now they're stealing bases. Now the defense is lined up. Like, come on. That's like we're heading in the opposite direction. So, that's what I took out of that, Coutinho. AL East, NL East, AL Central, NL Central, little wacky squads. Dodgers, Astros in the mix. Yeah, Phillies, shout out to Taj, as always. Yo, appreciate it, man. Coutinho. That MLB scoop, man. Yo, what I'm going to do now, though, going to rush down. I see Coutinho beating on Victorious, and I'm not going to have that. I'm going to rush down to the ring, slide in, underneath the ropes. That I brought
Dirtiest
a chair down
player
with
in the
me,
game.
Plus
and it's
somebody
on
with
and
this chair
popping.
over
So,
here.
Coutinho, you're going to get it. Sorry, it's a 2-on-1. Dirtiest player in the game. So, let's jump into the wrestling streets, man. I got some wrestling notes. Obviously, the big news, Vince retiring, was kind of stepping back and giving up the creative role and aspect. But I got, some Roman Reigns notes, Riddle we talked about, AEW. They was just in Worcester. They were right here back in our backyard, fam. Let's hit on it, Coutinho. I know you stay in the wrestling streets, so Victorious, give Coutinho a little break. He'll lead off here,
on these
Victorious.
wrestling streets, the big.
We're gonna chime in for sure.
Pod, we got SummerSlam coming up, and the big beef of it all. That's this weekend, fam. That's Saturday. Yep, that's
SummerSlam this weekend.
Yeah, that's like what are we, 28, 29, 30?
Wow,
yeah, 30.
what is it, like the 30th?
Yep. So SummerSlam's a big one.
Saturday,
and
Saturday 30th.
SmackDown was
July
in
30th. SummerSlam.
That's actually a good question. I want to say it's like in
Where is
Tennessee.
it?
Memphis, something like that. I think it's like
it's
south.
at the Titans Stadium. It's at Nissan Stadium.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah,
Yep, where the Titans play.
Yeah,
wow,
I
unbelievable
don't know
outside.
exactly.
Nice.
But with all that, it's down there. SummerSlam. It's gonna be So Friday, SmackDown was in Boston, and only hours before Vince had announced, like, I'm done, and then everything just went kind of nuts, at least behind the scenes WWE. So Brock apparently walked out, like he just nah. He's like, I'm out. Vince is out. I'm out. I want no part of this. Like, that's my guy. Walked out. Everyone's like, yo, what's going on here? Now SummerSlam's ruined. People in Boston waiting for Brock. He walked out. And fam, I texted you. I was like, yo, Brock's done. He's out. Ink. And then, they got me, fam. You know how it works, fam. Fam, you know how it works.
And then the music hit.
Yo, you know how it works. Yo, they got me big time. Yo, big.
And then see Victorious going crazy.
Yo, so it's
going wild when he hears the music.
Yo, Brock, he's back.
He's back.
It's Brock.
Yo, and I wasn't the only one. Boston went wild when he went. So that's exactly what happened. WWE, they got me. It was real. It was real to me. Facts. I really am. I'm a true mark.
Such a mark, Victorious. Such a mark.
To a true mark. But so anyway, Roman and Brock, that's going to be the big one. I touched on it, Kurt, your boy Austin Theory, he might cash in. So that's like the mystery of it all, and a few other fights too. And then, you guys
that
heard
ain't
about
my boy.
You guys heard about Ric Flair having his last match?
Yeah.
Oh man.
With his son,
Yo,
his
Ric-
son-in-law.
It's
squad.
This guy,
SummerSlam weekend.
Ric Flair,
No
like-
one cares about what you're doing.
What can,
Nah, that's
that's
Hey,
that's not like
fam,
what is that like?
fam,
That's like extra independent, right? Like what?
Yo,
he
but
just did
Jeff
that, like,
Jarrett is the one who's gonna beat his ass.
He did that like
and Jeff Jarrett's actually he's actually a special guest referee at SummerSlam
on
over
SummerSlam.
the weekend. So yeah, I don't know what's up with Ric Flair, man. My father-in-law was like, yo, he was like, hey, so I heard Ric Flair's having his last match. I'm like, yo, like, nah, like.
go away.
Nah,
come on.
but it's like, Will, come on.
Not
man.
even go
SummerSlam-
away.
No one
That's
wants
the
to
right
see that.
term. It's
That's
like,
what it is.
come on,
Nobody
Ric
wants to
Flair.
see that now. Nobody wants to see
It's too
that.
much. Too much. Nobody. That's what it is, Curtino. Nobody
so
wants. That's like watching a car wreck.
Touch
It's like,
on
come on,
the
nobody wants
Brock
to see that.
stuff. The Vince, obviously,
What else?
Vince
Yo, what-
even is huge. Triple H is back in creative.
Huge.
Stephanie, that's Kurt. It's wild, bro. Like, I mean, it's good news. I
Yeah,
think
it was out of
Triple H
nowhere
will bring
when Vince tweeted that. That was out of nowhere right before that SmackDown for him to come out like that. My thought right away was I thought it was a swerve. I thought it was storyline, but when news outlets started reporting it and stuff, I'm not going to got like Vic with the whole Brock thing. They're not going to make me a mark. So yeah, I saw the news reports come out about it, and to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if he comes back someday. I mean, it is what it is. Like, the guy just can't give it up. But I think the company's going to be better off with Triple H and Stephanie running it, honestly. Like, it can't get much worse, I guess, would be my thing.
See, I believe I'm right with you, Curtino. Like, there's no like this man did his thing, and like, honestly, the company's built on his back. Like, you can't even. Probably his dad's like started it and like got the ball rolling.
He's a form of an American
took it to
success
a whole
story.
nother level.
Yeah,
So.
I saw a
man did his
headline where
part,
it
you know what I'm
called him an
saying, man?
American
Like-
success story, and I said, yeah, that's a good way to put it. He was a bit cutthroat in the way he did business, but
Yeah, and I mean, we don't even know Curtino. Like,
Yeah.
he's giving out.
Hush
Like,
money.
that's why he's kind of retiring too. It's like he's handed out some payments here and there. It's like he's like.
well,
kind of,
that's part of
he's
the
like, he's a
retirement is because
he's a
there's gonna
grimy
be news
dude. I'm
coming
sure.
out. Yeah,
Well,
there's gonna be news coming out about that.
Yo, any other
I
WWE
would say that's a large part.
Of course, of course.
Yeah,
That
it's gonna
that-
get ugly.
Yeah, of course. That if anything, press the fast forward button on it. Like, fast forward. Right on his retirement. Like, you wanted to retire with like a plan in like 5 years? You thought they gave they give Joanne the boot?
Yep.
No, it's like no. They gave Vince the boot. Like, see you
Well,
later.
again, how you gonna go?
Like, you
public
gotta get
and
the hell
not
out of
think
here,
that,
Vince.
shit ain't gonna catch
so
up
he-
with you. Come on, man.
Yeah. All this stuff disclosed, yeah. Any other WWE takes? I was on AEW a little bit. I got a little Roman take. Like, I saw him and Riddle wrestling, and then Seth Rollins came down after the match. But just in general, fam, and I told you I was gonna, and Curtino, you can jump in on this. Like, just wrestling in general, I've been like, since I've been watching some more of it, going with the pod. It's like the same. It's like the same thing, man. It's like the same formula in the ring. And next time we get Anton, or next time we holler at him, but like, I watched Riddle against Roman Reigns, and like, there's no way to me that Roman Reigns is gonna lose. But like, Riddle's manhandling him the whole time, and Roman's
They
taking
do that
it.
with
Like,
everybody,
all right, it's like,
fam. They do that.
at one
John
point, at some
Moxley,
point,
it happened to him last night.
Roman's gonna say, all right,
Bruce
enough.
beat the hell out
It's
of
just
him
like-
for 2/3 of the match. Then John Moxley comes back and beats Roosh. It was like, obviously, it's going to happen.
then what happened?
They got their guys that they're going to protect, man. But I hear you. Wrestling is sometimes it's too predictable. Again, I really thought Brock was out, but but yeah, I mean but I feel you. Sometimes it's like it's just too dry. You know where it's going. I feel you.
Just the formula. The formula needs to mix it. You know what? Actually, it was good to see. I saw what's his name? I saw one of these guys lose
On AEW?
He
Oh,
lost
Tony
the belt
Stark?
to
The
like some random dude.
FTW.
Saw that
Yeah,
last night.
Hook.
Yeah, that's like that's a real unofficial belt.
Tony
And then his
Stark.
homeboy
Ricky
beat the
Starks.
hell out of him. Right?
Yeah, Tony
Ricky
Stark.
Starks. I said Tony Stark.
Yeah, absolute Ricky Starks. Yeah, he lost the belt to
Ricky Starks.
to Hook,
Bro,
to
he
Taz's
was-
son.
This this man was cutting the promo of his life, and then his boy rocked him.
Yo, he
Cutting the promo of
literally
his life,
cut
I'm
a
gonna
face.
win
He like
everything.
turned baby face, cutting the promo, and then
Yeah.
Powerhouse Hobbs just leveled him.
ruined him.
Yeah, so I saw that, so just that, and I was like, yo, at least the belt, and it was definitely
that's the
like an underground belt,
right?
It's
Like,
the FTW
like a real,
yeah.
He used to have it back in ECW.
Yeah, even still. Well, I was gonna say, even still, just to see it exchange hands on.
Daniel,
random like Wednesday
Brian
night.
Daniel, he lost last night too.
Because
so you're talking about throwing a curveball. They ended with Daniel Garcia actually beating, tapping him out too. Which was so. You want to talk about having like, I don't know. I know we've dumped on AEW, but that was a nice little end to the show last night with Daniel Garcia. Essentially, Brian Danielson essentially putting Daniel Garcia over, who's like a young cat. So I don't know if we're looking for that freshness. Maybe AEW got something brewing that we don't really sometimes always give them credit for.
I agree. Sometimes they definitely surprise us. We talked about that Sammy Guevara match with Cody. Definitely, their matches with Jon Moxley, and even like how they lead off. Like there's definitely good things with AEW. Don't get me wrong, but just across the board with wrestling, like the formula's got to switch up here.
Just
and
real
there,
quick,
that's just my two
Kurt,
cents.
about Braun Strowman,
but,
right? How he's got his own little creative wrestling thing. Have you heard about that?
Yeah.
So, fam, you want to talk about like
in
different
EC3,
wrestling?
yeah.
With EC3, it's like it's called Control Your Narrative, CYN.
Yep.
And it's basically you want to talk about, so you and Braun would probably have a real good conversation. You probably need to go to one of his events, but they have like I can't even explain it. It's like basically it's create your own narrative. So it's like special rules, things you can't do. You can't do super kicks. You can't jump through the ropes, things like that. They take the commercial out of it, if that makes sense. So maybe something to look up.
I like
maybe
it.
Something to look forward to. What do you think about that, Kurt?
It sounds like they take everything we are physically unable to do out of it.
Facts, because just too big a dude to just be doing that.
Yeah, Braun Strowman's a monster. It's like, why do you need a rule that says you can't jump over the top rope or whatever? It's like he can't fit through those ropes anyway.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, you don't need that rule, bro. You ain't gonna be doing that.
What other wrestling we got? SummerSlam to look forward to in a couple days. Christine, you got any wrestling
Kennedy
scoops
McMahon
over there?
is the big story. Obviously, I doubled down with whatever Vic said. Just that was the big shock right before SmackDown to have that come out. I was reading reports that half the roster was kind of frozen, like they didn't know what to do. The other half was happier than anything because they knew they now had a shot to actually do something. My personal opinion, I think Triple H has a great mind for the business. NXT was great when he was running it, so I'm interested to see what him running creative looks like. I think it like I said, it can't get worse. I mean, give him a shot, right?
I heard they might put Tommaso over.
Okay.
Ciampa.
Yeah. No, he's got a match this.
Yep.
Yeah, he's got a match this weekend
NXT,
at SummerSlam,
NXT
I believe,
veteran?
right? He's got one with Miz and all that, so he'll be on the show. But it'll be interesting to see how the post-SummerSlam shakeup goes with the new creative in line. But AEW,
I agree.
I saw they were just in Worcester last night. I got a homie out there, goes to all those shows, so he's always sending me pictures from where he's at, telling me to look for him in the crowd. But AEW actually coming my way. Their first show in Albany coming up in September. Me and the homies got a gang of tickets, so we'll be going to check that out. Should be a good time, see how their live show compares to a WWE show. We usually do NXT and all
Nice.
that, but yeah, AEW coming in September, so that'll be interesting to see. Yeah, they've got some good storylines right now. AEW's got a lot of guys that are out injured. Big names starting to come back. Guys like Bryan Danielson just coming back from his injury. CM Punk, who left with the title belt. So now they got Moxley as, he doesn't like being called the interim, but he is the interim champion.
That's what you are, Mox.
Yes. Yeah, right. I bet you don't like it, right? And then a big one is Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega still yet to return from his injury. Who knows how long that'll be, but they've got some names in the clip that they can bring back. So
Yo, I've heard Kenny, not heard. I mean, this man, he's taking a toll. He's taking the toll.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, he's
I've
done
read
a lot
some
of work.
reports like pretty much like, yo, if he calls it, I think he had a few quotes like, yo, my body literally, like, if I have one more moment where I'm like, I can't, or I'm done. He's like, I'm done. I think I've read something like that. And you see the matches. He does these 60-minute matches. No, like, just stuff that, again, some of these guys in WWE, they couldn't even sniff this dude's jockstrap, bro.
Well, and it's the travel with a guy like Kenny Omega too.
Yeah, I can appreciate that stuff, but like,
he's put so many miles.
oh, for sure. Like Japan, he's
So
out in
many.
Japan a lot. Well, what I was going to say is I can appreciate like the the 60-minute matches and stuff, the Iron Man matches, like, and he does those like all the time. Like, what do you think is going to happen to your body? I don't know. It's just like common sense to me. What else, Coutinho? What else, Victorious on the Wrestling Scoop? We're about an hour 15, about $1:15. It's about 11 o'clock. What else we got? Anything else to wrap up
That's all I
wrestling?
got.
Man, Ring of Honor. You got Claudio Castagnoli, formerly Cesaro of WWE, winning the Ring of Honor Championship belt, one of his first major world title wins.
We got more.
Yeah. Yep,
Yeah,
so
but that
was
Yeah, they were in Lowell.
That's all right.
For
They were just out here
And then
too.
what's up?
he took the belt off of
they were
Jonathan
low.
Gresham.
Yeah, and then Gresham walked out.
That's right down the
It's
road.
like, I'm done. It's like,
Yep,
bro,
Gresham's
like,
got a problem.
Don't. I don't know the whole. I don't know. They tried to turn him heel. He didn't want to be any part of that heel action. It's like,
We're reading the same stuff.
You're gonna be
Vic.
told
I
what
like
to
that.
do.
We're reading the same dirt sheets.
Yo, 100%.
Awesome. Yo, well, we're gonna do this. We're gonna wrap up the first half of episode 49. The big dog, Curtinho, joining us, man. Special guest. We appreciate it. The homie Victorious is here. Vic, your boy Hav in the house. The Rib Pod. Man, Curtinho, we just went down and crushed MLB. Just smacked around some wrestling, WWE, AEW, Ring of Honor. I wasn't ready for that. Man, we talked about the Harri Invitational. Talked about a couple Riv alum,
Yeah, we
Phil
gave
and Chris.
The full rundown. Too.
Man, we just went through it pretty good.
And no, I appreciate you guys having me back on for it. Yeah, appreciate you guys having
what else?
me back. Doing
Any
the baseball
parting
rundown.
words here, Coutinho?
Always helps me keep an eye around the, like I said, doing the fantasy baseball, keep my eye around the league, but I'm usually watching the AL East, so it's easy to keep track of the Red Sox while I'm watching my Yankees. And it's going to be a great second half. I'm really looking forward to see how it plays out because the second half is going to have big implications on the off season, right? Just that big cycle, right? I'm always chasing it. But then it'll be football season.
All right. Yo, and anyone who's going to be listening to this, man, like, you just got caught up. You just got plugged in with the MLB, just like now you're ready for the second half. Now you're ready for the stretch run. So, appreciate it. Give us the scoop on Aaron Judge. What your thoughts there? Maybe sticks with the Yankees. Maybe takes a big fat deal from them too. Maybe an extra large deal from them. I'm interested to see what happens with
It's
Juan
going to be
Soto.
very interesting. These guys are turning down big money, man. That takes balls to turn down that big money. Yeah.
Man, Coutinho. Yo, appreciate you bringing up some good stuff with the Harri Invitational and all that stuff too, Coutinho. We'll definitely get you back on the show. But yeah, we're gonna take a break, take a breather, take 5. Word from the sponsor. You know how the drill goes. So. The homie Coutinho, thank you for joining us on the first half, Coutinho, episode 49. We'll get back to you.
Give it to us.
Shout out to people. Shout out anybody.
Yeah, much love.
Give a little shout out.
Appreciate you guys having me. You guys are
take
killing
a break,
it. Episode, you guys are going to be at episode 100 before I know it, and I'll still be listening, saying, I got to get on again. Let me get back on. But you guys are doing a great job stepping up the game with the video now. I don't know that anybody wanted to see my face. They just had to listen to me last time, but they'll get through it. Shout out Harry. Shout out the Harri Invitational. I'd be remiss if I didn't give our boy EL shout out one time. Love EL. and that's it, man. Just rolling with the punches. Baseball season,
sure.
Summer's almost over, man. I hate it. I might make a couple more trips down to Connecticut, maybe stop at Mohegan, see if get my luck turned around in that building. But it is what it is, man. We're just rolling with it. Just living life.
Oh man, Coutinho. Awesome.
For sure.
Thank you for joining us, man. Yo, it's getting late. It's 11. We're gonna do, like I said, take a little break, and then come back with the second half. Man, appreciate you, Coutinho, for joining us. I'm sure we'll get lots of love on this show. Baseball heads again. They were chomping at the bit. So, we're gonna take 5.